Look at that. A big fat reject. My Ford Raptor, 96,000 miles roughly. Couldn't pass emissions. What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Nick from the Get This Nick channel. Guys, I know I look crazy. I've been outside sweating, getting this stuff done on my truck. But yeah, I went to go get the 2014 Gen 1 Ford Raptor that you guys know and love on my channel. I went to go get my emissions test done the other day. I didn't have any check engine lights, nothing funky lately. I haven't changed the battery lately, anything like that. So I really thought I was gonna get in there, get it scanned, get out, and be all good to go. And I was sadly mistaken. I checked, the guy looked at me, he's like, hey, did you change a battery or something lately? I'm like, no, not at all. He's like, well, it rejected. There's 3 things on here that are reading not ready. So I'm gonna get into it with you guys, the reason why it rejected, what I'm doing to fix it, and all that. So let's take a look at the paper itself. So if you see here, it's reading the different types of things it's checking for. So engine misfire ready, fuel system ready, it's all good. But we got catalytic converter not ready, heated O2 sensor not ready, and then we have oxygen sensor not ready. So right when I got out of there and I looked at the paper and everything, the guy told me, you know, you got to come back, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at this sheet and it's saying about the catalytic converter and O2 sensors. Now, for those of you that don't know or haven't been keeping up with the channel, the truck is a 2014 Gen 1 Ford Raptor. It has a Corsa Extreme exhaust on it, JLT air intake, and then it has a tune from 5-Star. So it's got a 5-star tune on there. And but the exhaust still, you know, there's still O2 sensors. It's not like the catalytic converter is missing or anything. So when I seen this, I was like, all right, time out. Maybe it's like my exhaust. But I started to do some digging online, looking at some different forums and stuff, and I was able to find out other people that had the same issue when they had a tune from 5-Star. Basically, those 3 things reading up as not ready. So people were suggesting different stuff, but the main thing I found out was you need to go ahead and tune the truck back to stock, drive it around, get it familiar with that stock cycle, and then go ahead and go for the test again. As soon as you get done with the test, if you want to change it back to the tune, but for another tune, that's fine. But for some reason, when you have that 5-star tune on there, it has a problem coming, you know, reading it as that O2 sensor and the catalytic converter and all those things. So I was like, okay, let me just change it back to stock. So I grabbed the little tool that I have, plugged it into the OBD sensor, went to go ahead and put the stock tune back on there. And unfortunately, the truck started running very, very rough. So I had the JLT intake still on there, I had the exhaust still on there, but I just switched the computer back to the stock tune. And I started trying to drive the truck. I was literally on my way to work and it was just bogging out, no power. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to go ahead and also switch the intake back to the stock intake, which I did have luckily from the previous owner. So I went ahead and did that. We got the new intake on there. We got the stock tune on there. Seems to be running fine. I drove it a little bit around the block. Seems to be okay. It's not bogging or doing anything like it was. But yeah, that's the update. So I'm going to ride it like this for a bit. I'm going to take it to the emissions testing. Hopefully it's able to read up now because I do have those things on the truck. It just, the tune threw it off. So for those of you who are in the market looking to do stuff to your Raptor, maybe you're looking to go ahead and put a tune on there, an intake and all those things like my truck has, and you want to get a 5-star tune, keep that in mind. Don't get rid of your stock intake. Keep that to the side because this is something you're going to have to do when you get emissions testing. Now, every state is different, obviously. Some of them don't require it as often, or some of them don't check for certain things. Depends on your state. But where I'm at, that's just the way the cookie crumbled. That's the way I got to do it. So we had to switch it back to the stock tune, switch it back to the stock intake, and we should be good to go. So it's definitely a completely different truck. Having it stock like that is weird. It just like, it's still a big V8. It's still got like a little grumble to it, and like it still has like a little bit of power, but nothing like if you throw that tune and that intake on there. If you guys are thinking about doing that 5-star tune and you're thinking about slapping an intake on your truck, the Raptor, do it. It wakes the truck up. It's how the truck should have came from the factory. It really just, the power's on demand. It is just like, it's crazy, the difference. It rides like a whole different beast. So if you're in the market for it, you're thinking about doing it, definitely pull the trigger on it, at least the intake, exhaust, and the tune. If you do those three things, you should be pretty happy. Now, I know there's people that go like the whole supercharger route. If they don't have enough power from those three things, they slap on a supercharger, they do it like that, or they do all three of those things plus the supercharger. But for me, at least for now, having the tune, the intake, and the exhaust, I'm good with. I feel like it's just enough power, just enough for daily driving. Power's there if I need it, and I'm happy with it. So that's my 2 cents. I just wanted to update you guys on this. Hair's looking a little crazy. Sorry, I was out there sweating, throwing this intake on, taking the old one off, throwing this one on. Gonna go take a shower though, but just wanted to give you guys an update on the Raptor. Also check that coolant level from, you guys remember the video I did a few weeks back, and it's exactly at the same point that I filled it at, which is good. We're not leaking anything, nothing crazy going on right now. So yeah, that's it. I will keep you guys updated when I go later this week for the emissions test. Fingers crossed that everything's good. We passed with flying colors, and then we might have to go ahead and just switch it back to the JLT intake with like a 93 street performance tune, because we like to get on that Raptor, rip it a little bit, use the power for what it's made for. So we can't keep it stock forever. I know that. We're not going to do that. So as soon as we pass that, we're going back to the 93 tune, and I will update you guys with a video with that. In the meantime, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace!